Welcome back to another edition of Vikings Film Room, brought to you by the Vikings Entertainment Network. I'm your host, Pete Bercich. Now, when the Vikings re-signed Aaron Jones, we were all absolutely thrilled. But the addition of Jordan Mason is going to make this running back duo a 1-2 punch. Mason, almost 800 yards last season, 5.2 yards per carry. Let's take a look at the film and see where he'll fit in this running game and what he brings to the table. So when you turn on the film of Jordan Mason, the first thing you notice is his size. He's 225 pounds, big running back, but his vision and his ability to run in between the tackles is very, very good. And that's what this first play is all about. You're gonna get the toss look to the outside, make him think that it's gonna be an outside run, when in reality, it's a cutback. Look what we have here. Offensive lineman here, offensive lineman on the second level. There's that alley. And once he sees this alley, he's able to put his foot in the ground, get through that first line and in the second line, but this is the part that I love most, is the yards after contact and play after play after play. You rarely see him brought down at the point of contact. It's always tacking on yards after it. Here, two guys miss him. He's getting to the next level, bounces it to the outside. This is a simple run play that got to the second level. And after contact, he's adding almost 30 yards. Now, one of the most important aspects to a running back's game is his vision. And this is what I'm mean, even on a zone play, vision is unbelievably important. Watch this linebacker from Kansas City. As this play starts, this linebacker has a decision to make. Is he gonna run flat or is he gonna run downhill? And in this case, he's gonna choose this downhill path. And as soon as he does, he opens up a gap that Jordan Mason is able to find. Boom, right there. Buries himself into this offensive lineman. Now we're in business. You really can't see the gap from this angle, but Mason has his foot in the ground. He sees it. He knows it's there. Now watch. Puts the foot in the ground, accelerate, find that. Now he's up on the defensive backs. First guy there misses him. Second guy sort of misses him. They bring him down. That's another 10 yards at the end of that play. This next play is really just a thing of beauty. You're getting it man-on-man blocking up front, get him to the outside. Again, you give this guy a lane, he's going to make the defense pay. 2 down blocks, 2 pulls, pretty simple. They get the number count they want, but he's outside and he puts that foot in the ground and turns it upfield. The only thing he's missing is that little bit of burst at the end to turn that into a touchdown, but that's a huge run. So we've seen the zone, we've seen the outside play. How about the downhill counter? So on this one, you're gonna see the tight end blocking down, guard's gonna pull out and kick out. And one of the great parts about this is his patience, right? So right here, when he gets his football, you're gonna notice this defensive lineman, really, he doesn't have this angle in this gap. He has to wait and be patient to allow this block to develop, to push that interior defensive lineman out of the way. So a little stutter step, gets up to the next level, but again, yards after contact. Watch this stiff arm. They have him right here, right? 42-yard line, should be down. Nope, stiff arm, boom, puts that guy down, turns on the jets, little move, second level, gets all the way to the other 40-yard line. So one of the best parts about running the zone is if you can get a win somewhere on this offensive front, you've got yourself a big play. Now watch what happens here against the New York Jets. You're gonna just get a regular reach block by this guard. This 3 technique should stay outside, right? He should stay in this B gap, funnel everything back into this linebacker over the top, but watch what happens. He gets reached, and that's the sign of a good zone back, is he doesn't have to take it outside. He sees that play happen right here, and he's immediately gonna get downhill. Now you look at this, they've got another defender right there that you think is gonna make the play. Well, not in this case, he's gonna get kicked out. When someone makes a mistake on that defensive front, this guy's gonna make you pay. So another example of just absolute great vision as a running back is this right here. And we'll watch how this play kind of develops. As soon as he works his way to the outside, he now has really 3 options, right? He could take this thing north and south, he could take this thing behind the guard into here, or cut it all the way back. He has 3 choices. He just has to figure out which one's best for him, and he does this so well. Watch what happens. Takes his foot, cuts it back, but as soon as he puts that foot down, redirecting, makes the corner come all the way downhill and make that tackle. That's some yards after contact right there. All right, so you still don't believe me that the guy's got a wicked cutback? Watch this play here. Again, just another zone up front. Now, when he takes this ball at the mesh point, his vision is where? His vision is behind the play. He's not looking to run this thing front side because you have two defenders, but he has a lot of options. Which one does he choose? Well, let's see, right? He gets to this first point. He could take this thing north and south and get 2 or 3 yards, but with this block, he's gonna cut it back to the outside. Now again, another opportunity to take it north and south, but he feels this block here. What does he end up doing? Bouncing it all the way outside where he's one-on-one with the cornerback. These guys get paid to cover, not the tackle. That's Sauce Gardner. He's got some green. He's gonna make him miss and get all the way up to the 30-yard line. The cutback ability of this guy is really second to none. Now, one of the things you didn't see a ton of out of Jordan Mason is being on the field on third down, but he can still run routes and he's still good in the passing game. This is something I think the Vikings offense is gonna look to develop in him. Can he do it? Well, let's take a look right here. He's man-to-man on the running back, but watch how this unfolds. You're gonna see a little bit of a pick block right here by this wide receiver, forces that linebacker to go over the top. What does that do? Well, that creates space. So Mason cuts it back inside. But again, whether you hand the ball off or throw it to him, you have defenders around him. Now they're playing man-to-man, I get that, but you have defenders around him. He's at about the 33-yard line where he catches this football. You'd think somebody here would be able to pick him up, but it's yards after contact, yards after catch. One missed tackle there, and he bounces it to the outside, picks up a couple blocks, and gets almost 30 yards down the field to get in the end zone. Now that one was called back because of a hold late, but still, get him the ball in space and he is going to move the chains. Now with a big-bodied running back like Mason, I expect him to be getting a lot of this. What does that mean? Deep red zone, short yardage, right? He can move the chains, make things happen. Watch on this play. The 49ers get a little creative here, but it's still the same type of concept. This time they're bringing in Kittle to come in here and get this linebacker, got the double team on the front side, so he knows he's cutting this thing back. But the beauty of it is once he gets to here, you think this play is dead. You think this guy is gonna get him right here. But the angle, his ability to plant that foot and surf backside all the way, cuts it all the way behind the defensive back in for a touchdown. And finally, someday you're gonna be outside and it's gonna be raining or snowing, bad weather. That's when you need a running back like Mason. Perfect example right here. The cutback ability, the ability to run after being hit. This is just a simple run play to the strong side. Now he's gonna get contacted right here, but watch the yards that he tacks on. Buffalo, they have him corralled, right? Not really, right? Bad weather, it doesn't matter. Keeps those feet churning. He's carrying bodies all the way 24 yards down the field. Again, the ability to run north and south. The zone is his specialty, but I like for the Vikings to add him in the passing game for pass protection, and he's not bad out of the backfield. So look for that out of Jordan Mason this year.